Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are taking the scalpel to one of the most talked about topics in health right now, GLP-1.
Right.
Now, you've probably heard about the synthetic GLP-1 drugs, but our focus today is on the body's own system, the science of natural GLP-1 activation, gut health, and, well, how structured support can lead to sustainable weight management.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at the research behind a two-product system called the Mind Body GLP-1 system. So our mission for you is to really get past the marketing and pull out the functional details.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand the role of our natural GLP-1 hormone, how this specific system works with its dual activation, and what you can realistically expect over time.
And what's fascinating here is that GLP-1, or glucagon-like peptide-1, is really a central communication hub.
A messenger.
Exactly. It's an incretin hormone, so it's a key messenger between your gut and your brain. It's released almost immediately when you eat. And its job is really twofold. First, it puts the brakes on your appetite and makes you feel full. And second, it plays a massive role in glucose metabolism.
So it's way more than just a diet aid. It's a core metabolic regulator. How does it actually impact blood sugar?
Well, GLP-1 boosts insulin secretion from the pancreas, but, and this is a really crucial point, only when your blood sugar is high.
Ah, so it's smart. It doesn't just flood the system.
Precisely. It helps keep blood sugar levels normal and improves insulin sensitivity, which is, fundamental for preventing a slide towards type 2 diabetes. But for weight management, its most famous function is slowing down gastric emptying.
Slowing gastric emptying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the mechanism that directly changes your behavior. Right?
Yeah.
If food is physically sitting in your stomach longer, you're not looking for a snack an hour later.
That's it. That prolonged satiety is the body regulating itself, from the inside. You don't have to rely on willpower as much. It just cuts down the chances of overeating. And this whole system is just so deeply tied in with your gut microbiome.
We know the microbiome is central to everything these days.
Mm-hmm.
But how does the hormone itself actually influence all those bacteria?
It creates this amazing sort of self-amplifying environment. GLP-1 supports the good gut bacteria.
Okay.
And then those bacteria break down fibers and produce something called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, like butyrate. And this butyrate signals the cells in your colon to produce even more GLP-1.
So it's a genuine feedback loop. The hormone helps the bacteria, and then the bacteria tell the body to make more of the hormone.
You got it. It's a cycle. And there's one more piece. The sources also mention its role in protecting the gut wall.
The gut barrier.
Yes, GLP-1 enhances that barrier function. And when that barrier is weak, you get leaky gut, where harmful stuff gets into your bloodstream and triggers inflammation.
And we know chronic inflammation is a huge driver of weight gain and metabolic issues.
So yeah, the goal here is to get that metabolic balance by strengthening the gut from the inside out.
Okay, so that's the natural mechanism. Now let's look at how this system, the Mind Body GLP-1 system, tries to maximize that response. The claim is a pretty big one. Naturally increasing GLP-1 by over 200% on average through dual activation and dual amplification. What does that even mean?
It's all about the timing and the sequence. Dual activation refers to two things happening at once. First, directly stimulating the cells that make GLP-1, and second, inhibiting the enzyme that normally breaks GLP-1 down really fast.
So you're making more of the signal and you're making it last longer.
Exactly, and that's all handled by the first product, the NBCore. Then you have dual amplification that comes from the second product, NB Enhance, which feeds the microbiome and provides other nutrients to amplify that signal even more, further down the gut.
Let's start with that first part, NBCore. The activation. What's actually in it that's doing the work?
The core comes in capsules, and it's a blend of botanicals. The big players are probably berberine, which is really well known for improving glucose metabolism.
Right.
Hesperidin, a bioflavonoid that helps increase GLP-1 receptors. And then you have yerba mate and matcha for, energy and focus. Plus chromium, which is vital for using sugar properly.
So it's a multi-pronged attack on the metabolic side.
Yeah.
What about the instructions? I remember they were very specific.
Oh, incredibly specific. The timing is critical. It's 2 capsules with 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning.
On an empty stomach.
A completely empty stomach. And this is the key step. You have to wait at least 30 minutes before you consume anything else. No coffee, no food, not even the other product.
That 30-minute window?
Yeah.
That must be to make sure the ingredients are absorbed without any interference.
That's the idea. You let the core do its initial work, and then after that 30 minutes, you move to part 2. MB Enhance, the amplification.
Okay, so what makes Enhance the amplifier?
Enhance is a vanilla drink mix powder, and its main job is fiber. A huge amount of fiber. At the full dose, it supplies almost half your daily recommended fiber intake.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a specific blend-resistant potato starch, tapioca fiber, that is basically food for those good bacteria we talked about. This is what helps them make the SCFAs that amplify the GLP-1 signal.
I see it also has probiotics in it. Is that part of the same strategy?
It is. It has specific spore-forming probiotics, Bacillus coagulans and Bacillus clausii, which are tough enough to survive the stomach acid and actually get to your intestines. So you're adding more good guys to the team.
Okay. And how do you take this one?
This is another non-negotiable part. It has to be mixed with at least 24 grams of protein.
Ah, so you're getting the fiber and the protein together.
Right, for that sustained satiety and to give your body the building blocks it needs. And because the fiber load is so significant, the sources are very clear about ramping up slowly.
Let's talk about that because I can see people going all in too fast and then quitting.
It's a classic mistake. For the first week, you only use 2 scoops. From day 8 on, the goal is 4 scoops. But if you get any bloating or discomfort, you have to back right off.
All the way
Down to 1 scoop, and then you just increase by 1 scoop per week until your body adapts. Listening to your body is essential. Consistency beats speed here every time.
Okay, let's unpack this journey because the sources are really clear this isn't a quick fix. They say give it at least 3 months for optimal activation.
Patience is everything. Your body is fundamentally restructuring its gut environment. The sources break it down into 4 phases.
So what does that initial adjustment period look like, phase 1?
Phase 1 is roughly the first 4 to 6 weeks. This is the ramp up and reset. This is when your body is just adjusting. So you might get some mild digestive stuff, maybe some weight fluctuations, even headaches.
And hydration is key here, I'm guessing.
Non-negotiable. At least 64 ounces of water a day. The focus in this phase is really on non-scale wins, feeling more energy, being less hungry, just getting the routine down.
And after that initial reset?
Phase 2, which is around weeks 6 to 10, is called better balance. Your digestion should be settling down, your hunger hormones start to sync up so the satiety signals get stronger, and that internal chatter about food starts to quiet down.
So this is when cravings start to fade.
Exactly. Cravings for sugar, salt, they lessen. Making healthy choices feels easier, less like a battle.
And phase 3 is when things really click into place. Activation optimized.
Yes, this is weeks 10 to 14. By now, the microbiome is really thriving, and the sources say food noise fades away. Hunger is genuinely controlled. This is when you should really start to see changes in how your clothes fit or in your body composition.
Which lines up perfectly with the 12-week clinical studies they ran.
It does.
So let's talk about those outcomes. We know GLP-1 went up over 200%, but what did that actually do to people's bodies over those 12 weeks?
The weight loss was noticeable, typically 1 to 2 pounds a week, with some people losing up to 25 pounds in the 12 weeks. That's with a healthy diet and exercise, of course.
Of course.
But here's the really stunning part, especially compared to just cutting calories. 100% of the people who lost weight either kept all their muscle mass or, in some cases, actually increased it by up to 6%.
Wait, hold on. 100%. No muscle loss. That's the holy grail of weight loss.
That's likely a combination. The system requires that high protein intake, which obviously fuels muscle. But also, better insulin sensitivity from the GLP-1 means your body gets much better at using nutrients. It prioritizes building and keeping lean tissue, even in a calorie deficit.
It shifts your body from a muscle-wasting state to a muscle-sparing one.
That's a perfect way to put it.
And what about the behavioral side, the cravings?
This clinical data backs that up, too. 95% of people reported fewer sugar cravings. 86% had fewer cravings for food in general. Salt, soda, and maybe most importantly, 89% just naturally ate less at their meals.
It really supports that core idea. When the hormone signal is right, the need for willpower goes way down. So if the system is the foundation, what are the activation accelerators, the lifestyle things that really maximize all of this?
Right. The product is the catalyst, not a magic pill. Diet is number 1. You have to eat a balanced diet, lots of fiber from different sources, legumes, whole grains, vegetables, and healthy fats. And again, plenty of protein.
You've got to keep feeding that new microbiome you're building.
Exactly. So adding in fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, that helps maintain a really diverse gut community.
Okay, what about movement? How does exercise fit in?
Physical activity itself stimulates GLP-1 release. Brisk walking is great, But resistance training is especially good because it builds muscle, which improves insulin sensitivity on its own.
So it's another one of those feedback loops.
It is. The goal is about 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. It's not just about burning calories, it's about improving the whole system.
Here, finally, the big ones. Stress, sleep, and hydration.
Yeah.
How they affect things.
They are massive regulators. Chronic stress just floods your system with cortisol, which crushes GLP-1 levels and hurts your gut.
So mindfulness, meditation, those aren't just nice to have, they're protective.
They're essential. And sleep. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is non-negotiable. Poor sleep tanks, your GLP-1 and spikes ghrelin, the hunger hormone, it throws a whole thing off balance.
And water. You mentioned it for the ramp up.
It's critical throughout. That 64-ounce minimum is so important with all the extra fiber. Water helps the whole digestive process work smoothly and supports the gut lining.
This has been a true deep dive. We've really decoded the body's natural metabolic controls, the power of GLP-1 over appetite and gut health. And we've laid out the very systematic approach of this system for achieving what they call activation optimized.
Yeah, the sources really drive home that this is a journey away from just counting calories. It's about correcting the core hormonal signals that drive hunger in the first place. It takes commitment, but the payoff is a system that finally works with your body.
Which brings us to our final thought for you to think about as we wrap up this deep dive.
If consistently activating your natural GLP-1 really does silence that food noise, that constant nagging urge to eat, does the mental quiet that's left over fundamentally change what you consider to be true hunger? Think about it. Does this process finally separate real metabolic need from just habit and give you true clarity on where your cravings are actually coming from?